Hi there everybody, it's Verity here from inkybutterfly.wordpress.com. Thank you very much for joining me again today for another card making tutorial. If it is the first time you've stumbled across this channel and you enjoy what you see, please do give me a thumbs up and subscribe and tap that notifications bell. I do post at least 4 videos every week, depending on whether there's some extra challenges and things on, so that's what I aim for. And those of you who follow me regularly will know that Monday means colour challenge, and this is what we're playing with today. So this is an interesting mix in Merry Merlot, Mint Macaron and Pacific Point. So we've got a neutral, we've got a subtle and we've got a bright. So we're really mixing up the colour families for this challenge, and it kind of feels like these two go together and these two go together, but quite an interesting combination to try and get them all together. Now whenever I see green, I do always think florals, and I try and think, oh, shall I not do florals, but this time I succumbed. I'm doing florals, but approaching it in a slightly different way. I'm going to use a set that I really like, and I haven't seen a lot of people use it much, but I really like it. It's called Delicate Petals, and I think it's because it's possibly a little bit confusing in the catalogue as to how it can be used and whatever, but I just really love it. I love this this image, which we're going to use to create a bit of a background. Ironically, the one thing I haven't used is that that flower, but that's gorgeous just to colour in. And then we've got all the petals and things and some beautiful sentiments to boot, and the dies are just incredible. Okay, so we've got these wonderful dies. There's one there to cut out that floral image, and then you can make these wonderful dimensional petals to create these super duper flowers. Okay, so so this is what we're using. Okay, now the sample card, the original sample card was this one, which I've done with the Pacific Point card base and layering, bringing in the Merry Merlot for the flower centres and the sentiment. And then there you see that lovely image in the background. And what you won't know is that I've already tried to record this video. So this is take 2, and I made this one and you didn't see any of it. Well, you saw part of it, but you didn't see all of it. So we're going to go again, and basically I'm going to do the bits, I'm going to miss out the bits I didn't like. So we've got a single flower on this and a double flower on that. I prefer the single. I think I prefer just the peak of the decorative element on here rather than the both. And yeah, so we're going to make something in the middle there. Supplies wise, I've gone with my Merry Merlot for the which I've put down. There we are. I'm going to use the Merry Merlot card base and layers, okay, to make the card, which means I'm going to be cutting some extra flowers in the Pacific Point. What I've already done is die cut the white part and a bunch of leaves, just so that they're done and you're not watching me crank things through a die cut machine for hours and hours and hours. But what I did want to show you was the mini cut and emboss. Okay, so I'm going to zoom you out. Oh, focus just went a bit crazy because I brought that in. So let me bring you out so you can see a bit more of my untidy desk, but you can also see a bit more of the mini machine. Okay, let me just push that to one side. So isn't he gorgeous? So you can see by my hands, I guess, that it's just really lovely pocket sized. I say pocket sized. It's just easy to carry. You can lift it with one finger, no bother. It's just a fantastic little portable machine. It comes with the handle attached. You've still got the fold away platform feature and the branding on the side, so it is just a delightful machine. When you purchase it, you will get all the plates that you need to both cut and emboss. So let's just move that just to one side just for a moment. Okay, the number 1 platform is the sort of the base platform, if you like, and you use this when you're using your thin dies. Okay, so there you go. It tells you exactly what you can do. So you use your 1 platform, and then you use your 2 cutting plates, number 2s, to then do your die cutting. So that goes onto the base of the machine. You will get two number 2s, 2 cutting plates, because you need to sandwich your project between those plates with the die on top. We're going to use this one to do your cutting, and you'll wind it through. Okay, so that's our die cut sandwich. Okay, and then you'll also get a number 3 and a number 4. So number 3 is for regular embossing folders, so you use your base platform number 1 and this plate to go through with your mini embossing folders. So this would be an example of a mini embossing folder. See how it just perfectly fits over that plate. Okay, this is the one that coordinates with the Forever Fern suite, or Forever Greenery suite. And then number 4 is for mini 3D embossing folders. So again, you use your base platform number 1 and you use the number 4 plate to do that. Okay, so the folders that are compatible with the mini machine are clearly indicated in the catalogue with a mini sort of symbol. I think the the colour varies, let's say that the right way around, in the catalogue, but it'll have a little picture of the die cut machine, and it'll say mini on it. Alright, so there we are. We've got our number 1 base platform already there. We've got our first cutting plate that we can put on top of there. We need our cardstock and our die. Hopefully you can see that, yeah. Okay, which we can just put in there, and we'll put another plate on top. Just sort of introduce it to the machine, and you'll feel that it's come in contact with the rollers, and start rolling that through. Just hold it down, sort of on my this sort of surface is a little slippery, so it probably not as sturdy as it could be. So all the clunking and cracking is all perfectly normal. That's what you'd expect. Lift away your top plate, and your die should hopefully fall out quite easily. I'm just going to take my take your pick tool, and we'll just pop out the debris and pop out our die from the our die cut from the die, and we get this wonderful detailed die cut. So we want 3 of those. So whenever you're die cutting, whether it's on the mini or the big brother, you want to make sure all those little waste pieces are taken away, because they will sort of emboss into your cardstock and you won't get such a good result. So let's just do that again. Let's make our little sandwich between our number 2 plates, wind that through. As I say, I'm just, because the surface is a little slippery, and I am having to hold that down, that's all. And then just get that out again. Very, very simple. And because it's little and light, you can of course be very portable with your crafting. So if you are wanting to go and see a friend, or if you are looking to do some little craft classes or something like that, this is really easy to take with you. It doesn't take up a lot of space, and it's really light too. So that's just winner winner, isn't it? And actually you'll find that there's quite a lot of dies that will go through this. So some sets will not be marked as mini, because there will be a larger die in the set, but there might be other companion bits that will fit through. So there's probably more than you think that will fit through that machine. So just clear that up for the last time. Okay, so I obviously store this packed away, so it's all nice and convenient. The overall width that comes with its handle attached, and the handle doesn't come off like on the big machine. Let me just tidy away my plates. I just have them in a little box over here, so put those away. So he's about 11 inches long, but obviously you can fit this in. And I think I said this was, because I have measured this before, so it's about it's probably squeezed into it's just over 4.5, so I suppose if you give yourself 5 inches of space, that's not a lot of, that is not huge, is it at all? Really lovely little machine. Like I say, it's just so light, literally lift it with a finger and take it around with you. Really super little machine. Nice price point if you are looking for something to get started with die cutting. This would be lovely. Okay, so let's put him over to one side, and I need to zoom you back in, and I'm just going to put that in front of the camera so I can see that you're in frame. Let's zoom you in. I think it's this one. There we are. Right, so what we're going to do is we're just going to assemble these flowers just so that they're set ready, basically. Here you go. We're just going to do a bit of shaping. You've seen me do this before. Use whatever's to hand that's sort of got a rounded sort of tip to it. It turns out that the multi-purpose glue seems to do this very well. And I've just brought in my silicone craft sheet. These are great, really inexpensive. You'll find them in the catalogue at the back with all the sort of accessories and things. But it just means that your surface is going to be protected and from all the glue and stuff, so it just peels away, it doesn't stick, and just keeps your desk nice and clean and sticky free. So I'm just laying those petals on to the centre there. That central hole is actually quite convenient for making sure everything's just sort of centred. And then I'm offsetting the petals because I think that looks nice. My personal opinion. If you don't want to offset them, then you can obviously line yours up however you want, but I'm going to offset mine and say, like I say, we're just going to set those to one side for a couple of minutes while we do our stamping. So I'm just going to bring in this pad of small grid paper, which is just great to have on hand for stamping, especially when you're going to go off the page. So on my layers here, I've got I didn't tell you the measurements, did I? Standard card base and my standard layer. So my standard layer, in fact, actually, I can screw that down. Stamp and seal. My standard layers, when I refer to those, are 4 inches wide by 5 3/4, so they're an eighth smaller, shorter and narrower than the card base. And if you line up your bottom 3 corners there and then drop it down, you should get a nice even border. So that's our sort of main card base done. And with a 10th fold card, you just want to make sure your top crease is really nice and secure. Then these 2 layers are an eighth smaller again, so go in 1/8 and create your layers. Okay, so this one ended up being 3 3/4 by 5 1/2. Okay, so we are going to stamp on the side of the cardstock. So I'm just going to use the grid paper to my advantage and just line it up evenly on here, so I know that the centre point is there. Okay, I'm going to use my mint macaron ink and that lovely sort of fan image. Okay, so this is the image that we're using. Alright, it's got a nice sort of central line through it, so that you can line it up. So this is going to be really nice to use. Because it's photopolymer, we'll be able to see that it's all lined up as well. So just doing some really light tapping on the ink pad. You don't want to press into an ink pad, just light tapping. Just see that off to the left there. Okay, and then you're going to hover over where you want it to go, which is sort of there, I think. Okay, and then press down, and you'll see that it's come into contact. It's very, very visible. I don't know whether it caught on the camera, but you can actually see it touched the cardstock and the ink spread out. You're just going to hold it down. I'm holding it down a little longer because I'm yappering at you. Hold it down for a couple of seconds and then lift straight up and off, and you get a lovely detailed image every time. And the quality of the stamps is just second to none. You get a perfect image every time. The trick is just getting used to this whole light tapping thing. Light tapping. Just hold your ink pad down. Light tapping. I'm moving it round a little bit just so that I get an even distribution of my ink. You do find that, you know, you're always going to the centre, so it will be paler in the centre. So if you sort of twizzle it around a bit, you'll get all the areas of the ink pad. Right, so now what I'm doing is I'm looking through the block at the stamp and lining up the point here and the point on the side of this circle. Now, because you guys are just right where I need to put my head, I'm going to do my best to line that up. On take one, it didn't go too badly, so hopefully this one will. So again, straight down, straight up. Okay, so that's how we're going to do that, and we'll just do it once more on the other side. Okay, again, just turn your paper if you have to. No law that says you have to stamp everything with your paper straight, so I'm just eyeballing those 2 points roughly there, straight down, press and up. Okay, and that gives you this lovely semicircular image, which is really, really, really lovely. So this stamp alone in this set just blew my mind that you could do this, really. Okay, and then obviously if you have a larger piece of paper, you can continue round and create a circle, which is just awesome. Right, there's our mint macaron out of the way and our stamp. And while we've got the paper here, I'm going to bring in my Pacific Point ink and just stamp my sentiment, so that's ready to go as well. So again, just light tapping. Here we are, down, straight up, perfect. Okay, really, really straightforward. Okay, there we have it. And let's just get that punched out. We're using the double oval punch, using the decal circle there. And with your punch, if you turn it onto the back like this, you'll be able to see exactly where you're punching your image. So just get that lined up where you want it. And good firm pressure punches out that beautiful design there. Okay, so we've got that ready to go as well. Okie dokie then, so this can be adhered to our Merry Merlot piece. This is just stamp and seal. I do love stamp and seal. I like that it's quick and easy, mess free, generally speaking. And it's done. Okay, we're going to also I'm just going to put a couple of tabs on the sides there so that we can secure some ribbon. My go-to now, so those of you who've watched me for a while will know that I was in mourning for the fact that, ooh, whoops a daisy, my scissors got caught in some tweezers and it's just caused a catastrophe. That's fine. My go-to ribbon was the polka dot tool ribbon, because it was just nice. It was very fine, so it was kind of there without being there. It didn't overpower your card. So this white seam binding ribbon is sort of becoming the substitute for that, I think. So if you're looking for a nice sort of versatile white ribbon, this would be the one that I'd recommend. So I've just secured that across the middle there, and we're going to add it to our card base, ready to receive all the other lovely embellishments. So again, just line it up at the bottom, those 3 edges, and we know it's the same margin. It's only a 1/8 of an inch, so 1/16 all the way around. So you should get some nice even borders there. Okay. our sentiment we're going to add with a dimensional bit. So now I keep sort of all my little edge pieces as scraps, and they're perfect for this kind of thing. Just laying it on at a diagonal so that it kind of straddles that ribbon. And we're going to push that over here. Okay, so that's in place. Just so that I've got something to kind of secure this in place. Right, so I'm just taking another length of that and then cutting it in half. So I'm going to do 2 pieces together into a little knot, just to add our extra element of texture. Oops. Just a knot. A single knot is fine. This stuff is actually quite delicate, so a single knot actually secures it quite firmly. Have I got both edges of that? Seem to have. Oh, okay, right. Just doing one. Oh, come here. There we are. So just adds a little bit of extra texture on the end there. I would have doubled it up, the other one wasn't plain ball, so I just got rid of that. And where did I put my flowers? There they are. There they are. So now we can put these in place. So I'm going to turn those over and apply some glue onto the back of those. So the wet glue is going to give us a bit of time to decide how we want them to be laid out. Okay. Preferably without sticking your fingers in them. So that seems to sit quite nicely around there. And we want one up here. Of course, our rule of 3. Do like putting things in 3s, and those of you who watch me regularly will see me do this all the time, but it seems to work out, judging by the comments I get. Okay, it's a good rule of thumb. Oh, I've done it again, put that away. I did that the first time as well. So just turning these leaves over onto the back, so I can just put a little bit of glue on the base of those leaves, and then tuck them in. So you only need a smidge, and by keeping sort of the top end edge free, you kind of get a bit of sort of texture and motion behind those leaves as well, because they stick up a bit. It's nice. It's another level of dimension that you can get from your card. Okay, try and get that one into there. Yep, good. And that one over the top, like so. So that's just going to slot in there. And I think we don't need the other one. So we'll get rid of that. And the last thing to add on there is our centres, our pearls for the centre. Just grab out of there. So these do have adhesive on the back. So those will just secure in place. Just give them a good firm push. If you want to, you can add a little bit of glue underneath those and just make sure that they're going to stick, but they should be fine. There we are, and that is the card done. So I hope you've enjoyed that. Just putting things away because I know what happens. I end up with things everywhere. Right, so these are the two think we're comparing. Oh, didn't cut down my little tails on here, so there we are. That should have been there really. Okay, so there we have it. 2 cards there using the combination of Merry Merlot, Pacific Point and Mint Macaron. So those were the 3 colours we had to use. Went floral, variation on a theme, using the delicate petals, stamps and coordinating dies. Hope you like it. Love to see any creations you make with these stamps or with this colour combo. It'd be great to see your work. If you've liked it, please give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe and tap your notification bells and you'll see me come on at least 4 times a week. All the products I've used today are going to be listed below. They'll take you straight to the online shop. Thanks for stopping by. Take care everybody, stay safe. Bye.